Do you think you know Herschel Walker?
Touchdown, Georgia.
Well, think again. Listen to what his ex-wife had to say about him.
His eyes would become very evil. The guns and knives. I got into a few choking things with him. The first time he held the gun to my head, he held the gun to my temple and said he was gonna blow my brains out.
Republican voters against Herschel Walker. Yeah, the Republican Accountability Project released that ad. And the thing is, it detailed things that people had heard about already in Herschel Walker's past, except when you do it in a political ad type of feel here, especially with this haunting and daunting music, and specifically showing his ex-wife there, Cindy DeAngelis Grossman, describing the things that she alleged that he did, it kind of hits differently. I feel like this is like teed up perfect type of Republican type of thing. It's just, it kind of cuts real deep. So about the specifics of, at least they were saying in that ad there, it's an old domestic abuse scandal that of course Walker hasn't denied. So that's not even a part about this whole thing. Let's go to details. He's not denied Grossman's allegations. He told ABC News' Bob Woodruff in a 2008 interview that he probably did it, but he doesn't remember. Mr. Walker has not denied Ms. Grossman's accusations, saying his violence against her was a consequence of his struggles with mental health. His campaign didn't respond to a request for comment. So it was a problem with his mental health. He didn't deny these types of things, but the Republican Accountability Project definitely wants Republicans who are maybe thinking about voting for him, especially showing this big former athlete attacking his wife and the injuries and threats and fears for her life that she went through. One of my producers yesterday, when we were talking about this, while I said there was that old '80s ad. What was it? What was it against that one president? Yeah, it was the Willie Horton.
Willie Horton, yeah.
Willie Horton is what we were going at yesterday, and I don't know if maybe some shades of that, but there was an unfairness with that one that was a little different here. I feel like.
Look, Herschel Walker, I tend to believe that he's suffering from some kind of mental health stuff because he put his hands on a white woman down south. That's gotta be some type of mental defect if you willing to do that. No, but seriously, the Republicans down there, I think they kind of recognize that this guy has run a baffling and buffoonish campaign and want to, rinse their hands of him if in the event that he loses and loses badly. I just have a hard time believing that that'll be the case. Like, this is a red-leaning state. He's the Republican candidate over there. I think he's gonna have an overwhelming support amongst Republicans in the state. So he's gonna be tough to take down. I just find it interesting at this stage in the game that they're running this stuff when he's already won a nomination.
The general Republican, I think, a voter or maybe these folks that are overseeing this whole thing are trying to guide Herschel Walker to this win. They know they can just tell him kind of whatever to do and say, which maybe it's not different than other politicians, but he seems a little bit more malleable. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, and I do want to get back to what you said about these quote unquote Republicans who are tired of the MAGA way of doing business. Okay, what's the other way of doing business? The deeply unpopular Paul Ryan way of gutting Social Security, gutting Medicare, gutting anything that people actually like, and cutting taxes on corporate shareholders to ridiculous amounts to the benefit of absolutely nobody else. Nobody wants that. That's deeply unpopular politics. So this is the way forward for them, and this is how they win.
Yeah, honestly, the only difference is they hit it better in the Paul Ryan version of the Republican Party. They'll do the same policies. They just now have this guy who's going, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna cut taxes for corporations and rich people because that's who paid us. He blatantly tells everyone what he's up to.